Hey y'all, I'm Perez, and this year there's a bunch of stuff that I am not going to buy. 70% of the US economy is driven by consumer spending. That's you and me going out and getting things like oil changes, new pants, our Amazon Prime membership, makeup at Target. All of that, that's driving 70% of the US economy. Did you know that the average person in a rich country, like the United States, consumes, environmentally speaking, 13 times as much as a person in a poor nation? That means, just as a comparison, one person in the United States has 13 times as much an environmental impact as somebody living in, let's say, Haiti. Information like this is always at the top of my mind, especially because I work as a money coach. So most days of the week, I'm working with people to rearrange their spending so that they can reach their saving, investing, and financial freedom goals. I'm not much one for demonizing the small choices in our lives that bring us joy. If you want to get that Starbucks coffee, go right for it. I just suggest you do it in a reusable cup. But I am someone who does advocate for rethinking our lifestyles in general. Like, why do we create social standards that require us to look a certain way, smell a certain way, present ourselves in a certain way, and then punish people who don't meet those standards? We use spending as a weird form of social control. So this year, I am choosing not to buy certain things in an effort to unplug myself from the capitalist matrix we live in that demands we define our happiness and self-worth by the way we spend our money. Here are 6 things I'm not buying in 2023. 1, the Stanley Cup. Okay, I cannot escape the Stanley Cup on TikTok. It's like every third video is someone saying, "Oh my gosh, I love my Stanley Cup," or sitting in their car drinking out of their Stanley Cup. It's everywhere. But you know what was everywhere just a few months ago? A hydro flask. And before that, it was the Yeti cup. My point being that this capitalist spending matrix we've got is always pushing us to buy something else to replace something most of us already have. If you already have a Yeti, you don't need a Stanley Cup. And that's my case. I already own a Yeti. And you know what? I also don't need to feel competitive with other people about the type of cup I'm using to keep my tea warm. Number 2 is new clothes. I sit here before you in a sweater that I got for free from a friend who was gonna get rid of it. She was gonna donate it, and I said, hey, that's kind of cute, I'll take it. And because I get 50% of my clothes for free from clothing swaps, and the other 50% of my clothes from thrift stores, up until a couple of weeks ago, I would have told you that I am not a big shopper. I'm not a big clothing shopper. But that wasn't really true, especially for 2022. First of all, shopping in thrift stores is still shopping. And second of all, last year, I actually spent a bunch of money on clothes. I bought new clothes specifically for the 2-month trip that my partner T-Bone and I took over the summer of 2022, and I bought a bunch of clothes specifically for themed parties that I was invited to. Also, because T-Bone and I boxed up most of our life and stuck it in a storage unit so that we could go on this trip, I ended up buying a bunch of new basics. Like, I bought 3 new pairs of jeans. I mean, I thrifted them, but you know what I'm saying, new to me. And I bought a bunch of t-shirts, also from thrift stores, simply because I was too lazy to go to our storage unit and sort through the boxes to find out where the t-shirts I already owned were. This year, no mas. I'm not buying any more clothes. Number 3 is endless skin creams. I will admit, I love skincare. I'm 34 years old, and I am one of the few women I know who's in her mid-30s who has not gotten Botox. Now, this is no shade to people who have gotten Botox. I just don't think I'm a Botox girly. But I am a girly with very dry and acne-prone skin, so I need lotions and potions to keep this thing looking the way I want it to look. But the skincare rabbit hole is deep, my friends, and every 2 weeks there's a new cream or lotion or oil that the skincare industry says is going to cure everything that society says is wrong with your face. You know what I'm talking about, right? It's vitamin C serum, hyaluronic acid, I think I'm saying that right, daytime moisturizer, nighttime moisturizer, snail cream. I mean, it's always something else that you can buy. I have my skincare routine down right now. I know what works for me, and for the remainder of 2023, I will not be adding in any new steps. Number 4 is additional streaming platforms. I already have access to Hulu, Amazon Prime, HBO, Netflix, and Peacock. That's a lot of television that I could be watching. There's simply no more time in my day to be watching more television. Honestly, I probably already watch too much TV, and I generally don't feel bad about that. I love television. I think it's great. I think it's a modern marvel. I appreciate good acting. I love a good costume. But as I think about my 2023, I have to ask myself seriously, like, how much time do you really want to be spending on the couch? And how much time do you want to be spending doing all these other things that are on your kind of life to-do list? And I know that if I added in any more streaming platforms, I wouldn't be able to do all the things I want to do. Honestly, now that I'm kind of talking through this with y'all, I'm like, I gotta talk to T-Bone about maybe canceling one or two of these platforms because I just don't need the temptation. Number 5 is self-improvement books. I've spent the last 2 years reading some of the most popular self-improvement or self-enrichment books out there, and as of this year, I'm done. I kind of feel like most of the books in this genre are really saying the same thing, like try and focus on the details of your life, set goals, and then put mini steps that you can take to get them, communicate with people that matter to you. I've read Atomic Habits, I get it. And honestly, part of me feels like self-enrichment gets a little weird. Just a little weird, like the more you look at it. So this year I will not be buying any more of these kinds of books. And finally, number 6 is no new kitchen appliances. Ever since the pandemic hit, I have spent way more time in the kitchen and I have been really growing as a cook, and I'm very proud of that. But I've also added in a bunch of tools over the last 2 years. T-Bone and I have bought an immersion blender, we've bought a Dutch oven, we bought all new stainless steel pans, like skillets and stuff. We have 2 sets of knives. We just don't need any more kitchen stuff. Like anything I want to cook, I can make. I have been tempted by something like a bread maker, but I don't need it. I just don't need it. And honestly, at this point, I don't have the space for it anyway. Most of my stuff is still in storage. I don't need to be bringing it into my grandma's house. It's just not the right time to be adding anything else to my kitchen collection. So that's my anti-haul of 2023. Definitely let me know in the comments if there's anything you're not buying this year, or if you're trying to do kind of a low buy year in general. And I'm curious about what y'all are saving that money for, if there's a big financial goal you're working towards. Thank you for watching, and make sure to hit subscribe and like on the way out.